The Jivatma that is there, this system has been created in order to make the group of Jivatmas to promote themselves into the spirituality and attain the Parabrahma Sakshatkara. Brahma Jnana, Brahma Tattva. Traveling towards that. So this teaching should be. So the true Brahmachari who has trained himself, like here in this case in Chandogya Upanishad, when I talk, who has educated himself from the Vaishambhayana, Maharishi Vaishambhayana, Maharishi Yajnavalkya, they will be executing their karmas as a very responsible person. We are all talking about responsibility. No, who is a responsible person? He is the most responsible person who looks like a father but not a father. Who acts like a father but not a father. Who does everything like a father but not a father. What is that? Not a father means what? I hope you understand this meaning of my this language. Not a father means he doesn't have the ownership of a father. He doesn't have the ahankara of the father. He doesn't have the ahankara of the son. He doesn't have ahankara of anyone, but he contributes it according to that. Think about it. Even though I am not the father, I will execute my karmas as a father means what? The whole universe will be your children. Whole universe is your children, and you will contribute to them as you are giving to the child, your own child. Great. You got the meaning of it. So he is a brahmachari who doesn't have the ownership of temporary, that positions, assignments. Function as father for 3 years. After that retire, because he will no more call yourself father. You are nobody. Oh, bless fellow. What have you done to me all these years? Suppose son asks you. If the son asks you, you get hurt. What have you done throughout your life? Is it not? Why? Because why you get hurt? You have the ownership of father. If it is a brahmachari, if it is asked to the brahmachari, you being a father, what have you done to me? He says, I have not done anything to you. Whatever you are supposed to get, you got it. God has given you. Will be his attitude. Will be his thinking. He will never get hurt or insulted. Why? Because he is not involved in the father. A brahmachari is that the experimental. What is he doing? Experiencing the experimental experience. Now does it mean that it is right? Does it mean that if son asked like that and he kept quiet, okay, he understood he is not the father, he is so and so. But is it right? It is not right. Why it becomes like that? Who asked such question? Why he has asked that question? He, the man who is supposed to be the brahmachari, should function as a brahmachari, did not function as a brahmachari. He got involved into the fathership and he acted as a father only, is why this has happened. This jnanam has to be there, is why it is a secret. Can it be written down? Can it be by-hearted? Can it be told? Who told this? Nobody has told this. No. It's a secret. That's what is called the secrecy, rahasya of the Vedanta, rahasya of the Atma Sakshatkaram, rahasya of the Parabrahma Sakshatkar. He only can attain the Parabrahman. He keeps on involving himself in each and everything. How can he get Parabrahman? So, the midday. So, experiencing. Who is the one who is coming to the third savana is to the Adityas and the Vishwadevas. Is the one who acquire this knowledge. Others don't set. They keep on traveling. That's all. They don't go beyond that. They remain in that limitations of learning, attaining the experimental experience. They never have an experience. They never come to that status. They never come to the Adityas and the Vishwadevas. They don't go to the Sayam Sandhya. They don't come to the end of it. There has to be a beginning of life and there has to be an end of life. Morning is the beginning of life, evening is the end of life. What is the end of life? End of life is that with all the experience of this, he is fulfilled. Now he is ready to go from this limitations to unlimited. Where is that darkness? Is there limitation of darkness there? In the darkness, what is there in the night? Unlimitedness. Where is unlimitedness? Went into Sushupta Avastha, where there are no limits, nobody stops you traveling anywhere you like. Is Sadhya. Is why the third Savanam is for the Adityas and the Vishwadevas side. What the form of life? This is called living. That is what is called. So, everyone has to live as a brahmachari. Is it not possible? It is possible. Provided we have dedication, devotion. We have knowledge, enough knowledge that. Now what happens, because of the ignorance we get guilty. Oh. If I don't, absolutely opposite to that. If I don't be a father, if I don't act as a father, what people will tell? What they will think is an irresponsible father. In fact, if he called himself as a father, he is irresponsible. Who is a responsible father? The father who is not a father. Or the father who is the true father. You can put it in any way you like. It's not the playing with the words, that's all, nothing else. The meaning is that one should not have owned the position that you have got. It is temporary. When you are there, the position is there. When you are not there, the position is not there. When somebody else is there, the position is there. That somebody is not there, position is not there. After husband died, nobody calls her as a wife. After the wife dies, nobody calls him as a husband. He is nobody's husband. She is nobody's wife. Isn't it? His position is resigned, that's all. No more. Terminated. Finished. No more required. Same way. Where is that? What is the responsibility? But what happens? Even someone is there or not, you execute your karmas as that you are supposed to execute, submit it. Without being that. When you are not that, then you will execute the karmas in the right manner. When you are that, then only you get terminated. But the you never get terminated. It is your position that gets terminated. The position of the husband gets terminated. The position of the son gets terminated. The position of the father gets terminated. Not you. Is it not? If you understand this very well, concept should be absolutely clear, without any guilt, without any attraction and attachment. Then you will function as a true brahmachari. But you execute that. As I told you, when they ask you something, when you asking me something, you are wanting, not asking in the sense, not physically asking, that means you as a Jivatma, you are wanting to promote yourself towards the Brahma Sakshatkara. You have an intention, means you are trying, you are swimming, you are trying. When you are trying, I explain you this Upanishad to you in order to find out the Parabrahma Sakshatkara, is put myself into the temporary position of the Guru. After you have learned everything, I won't be explaining it. When I am not explaining it, will there be a Guru? When you know everything, then you know what is there. Till you have to know, I will be looking like a Guru, because I am explaining things. You are understanding things, looking like a Guru. When you grow up, when you gain the knowledge, when you become greater in the level of the knowledge, my position also in your eyes will change. X, Y, Z, whatever it may. My position will automatically, you will not, no? At that position you call me as a guru. At this position you will call me as something. At this position you will call me as something. At this position you will call me as something. My temporary position changes, but I am the same as here and there. You are the same here and there, but you have increased your knowledge. I am remaining the same. I have not changed. But you looked at me as guru here. You looked at me as so and so there. You looked at me as so and so here. Sun rising, when you looked at me, that, oh, Ushas. Sun rising, sun. Let us pray. People do Surya Namaskara, people do Gayatri Mantra, people do Japa, people do all that. Morning sun. Okay. Afternoon, they don't do anything because it is very hot. Evening sun, again Sandhya Samay, they do again the pujas and all that. The sun is the same in the morning, afternoon and the evening. But you specified it as the morning sun, you specified it as the evening sun, you specified it as so and so. His position, you called him different, That's it. Same way, sun is same, the guru is same. You, depending upon your understanding of the knowledge, gaining of the knowledge, gaining of the spiritual knowledge, through that, when you look at me at one position, you look at me as a one teacher, and next position you look at me as someone else, third position look at me as someone else, because the position, the one which is whom I am looking at is the same, but when you start understanding things more and more, you start looking at him as so and so, so and so. But you will be, he is the same person, he is no one else other than that. Is why that position changes, not that he disappears or disintegrates or dissolves. Yes. This is what happens. This Prashna Upanishad has explained that how they initially looked at the Guru as what, and at the after the sixth chapter, how they looked at the Guru. As the Maharshi is the same. But they have found God in him, Parampita in him. Yes. What happened? The same person who called him as Maharshi Piplada has started calling him, hey, Parampita. See, position has changed. Has he changed? No. He had the same knowledge, same jnanam. He distributed the same jnanam. He has been remaining as the same, but the person who is looking at him has changed. Why? Because he acquired the knowledge. Who provided this knowledge to him? He only provided the knowledge to him. So this supporting is called responsibility. So when he supported that responsibility, so every Jivatma has to support that. So what happens? The position changes. So don't, even though you are there, you should not be affected. Maharishi knew that he is a Brahma Sakshatkari. He knew that he is Avatar. All Maharishis, Tapas, Jnanis. He knew that, but he never felt bad when he called him as a Rishi. He never felt happy when he called him as Parampita. Because he is neither Rishi nor Parampita. He is that Parabrahman or representative of Parabrahman. So when he acted as, he knew that as started when he started. He knew that when he entered the education for them. Both positions he knew. So he only smiled at them that, fine, good that you have come to that stage. He was happy. This is what is called responsibility, bringing him from that to that. But you don't get involved in that. You don't call it as your responsibility. That is the responsibility, but you don't call it as your responsibility. Why? Because he being the Rishi, his karma or his swabhava is to express. It automatically expresses. Depending upon the requirement of those Shishyas, in the first day, he contributed. Not that he contributed. He reflects himself. He's not actually explaining. What happens? He reflects himself. When he reflects himself, Depending upon one's own capability of understanding and perceiving, he perceives it from there. Next day, the same status Maharshi expresses means what? Projecting himself. Or what is that? Displaying himself or projecting, imparting himself. The same imparting takes place. It's not different. But by the time he has experimental experience, he did the experimental experience, and after having the experimental experience, he has got to the next experimental experience connected to that. So what happened? He could perceive more from the same. Third day, again he perceived more from the same. So each time he perceived, he started looking at him as the one who is a provider of the first level, provider of the second level, provider of the third level, provider of the unlimited at one point of time. Whose perception is that? Is he projecting that alone in the one and the end? He projects the same jnana. Depending upon the capacity of the perception, perceiving, he perceived, identified him as that. He who identified, he did not say, I am Maharshi. He did not say, I am Parampida, I am Parabrahman. He called him, he accepted him. Got it? Had he got involved in it, then he would have remained as a guru. He will never come up from there. No, is it not? Because he gets involved in it. That entanglement, that entangled in it. But it was his responsibility. What is his responsibility? To create, to project his Swabhava is responsibility. So he projected the Swabhava. Depending upon necessity, the perception takes place. So whenever an individual, a brahmachari, expresses or executing, this is called responsibility. I am putting this word even though it's not a right word. He does it very kindly, with karuna, with daya, with all sorts of good intentions, with all sorts of jnanam, with all sorts of blessings, with all sorts of good intentions. He projects himself to the disciple, to the son, to the daughter, to the mother, to the father, to the wife, to the husband, to XYZ. Depending upon their necessities and perception, he looks like that. If you understand this, this is what you are. That's all. This is the truth, whether you like it or not. This is the truth. So if you do this, what happens? You path towards the Brahma Sakshatkar. What happens? You always gain the experimental experiences which converts into experienced experience. Don't remain in this path of only experimenting. Experimental experience will come once the experiment is finished. Experimental experience will come once the experiment is finished. I have learnt driving. Only after learning driving, you have to learn driving. You say, you have learned driving. I have lived. After living the life only you can say you have learned to live. After experimenting only you can have the experience. If you are a